So I've been playing around with some vegetarian burger recipes which are cracking for the barbecue. This is my chickpea and sweet corn with cumin and spice burger with red onion marmalade, finished off with the most beautiful zesty lime mayonnaise. So I've been working on a couple of really simple yet tasty vegetarian dishes. These are great for the barbecue. I always find this time of year, everyone's outside barbecuing away, whereas the vegetarians generally get left out a little bit with a decent vegetarian burger. So if you follow me on Instagram, you know that I've done a real good beetroot one on there. This one's a chickpea and sweet corn burger, done with loads of different nice spices. I'm going to balance it off with really simple lime mayonnaise and a little bit of caramelized red onion. First up, we're going to make up the patty. So with a blender, we're going to introduce about 400 grams of chickpeas. And we've got about 300 grams of sweet corn. Now spice-wise on here, we're keeping this relatively simple. We have got a teaspoon of paprika, a teaspoon of cumin, and a teaspoon of ground coriander. And the reason I want to use those basic spices is sweet corn itself is going to be really nice and sweet on there. We've got the meaty texture from the chickpeas. Then we want to work on that really nice sort of balance of spices. So I find that cumin, paprika, and coriander just works really well with this. Now, this is optional. You can use coriander as in coriander leaf in here. I'm going to use some basil. Both of them work really well. Now for a heat element, as always, just a small amount of chili. I'm going to add about a half to this. Season, a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper. And then lastly, we've got a lemon here, little roll. And then we're just going to take the zest of that straight in here as well. And then with the lemon itself, we can just cut that in half. Add the whole juice of one lemon. At the moment, that's going to be quite a wet mix, so we're going to go on with our lid, and we're just going to give it a little pulse. We're going to reuse the blender again, and we're just going to add in there some oats. So general just porridge oats, absolutely fine for this. And that's going to be our flour, so we're going to use that just to get it bind together so it all sticks together nicely, and give that another good blitz. So empty that in, and then we're going to simply just start combining the two ingredients together. It's going to start forming our burgers. So basically you can add as many oats in there as you want to try and get it to this sort of texture. You want it sort of be almost like a pate sort of consistency. Then that can go into a fridge for around 30 minutes just to harden up, which means it's going to be a lot easier to cook. We're going to grab ourselves a little bit of paper. We're going to start to form our burgers. So literally just take a little bit of the mix. Just going to push them down to get a nice sort of shape to them. Roll it up in your hands, push it down, and just spread it out to a nice sort of like, almost like a ciabatta sort of bun size. That's your burgers done, and they smell amazing. They can go in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes just to firm up. While that's chilling down, we're going to get on with a few different things that can go with it. And first up, we're going to do some caramelized red onions. For that, we just need 2 onions. You're going to get a pan up to heat and add to that a good 2 or 3 tablespoons of olive oil, and then we're just going to finely slice up our onion. And then into that we're going to add a generous amount of balsamic vinegar. So you just want to reduce that down until they've gone nice and soft and stringy, and they're taking on all that balsamic glaze. So we're just going to drop the heat down to a medium heat. The secret with like decent caramelized red onions is to sweat it down at a lower heat for a longer period of time, something like 25 minutes even. And they go really sticky and sweet, and they're so good with the burger. So while that's cooking down, we're going to get on with a really simple lime mayonnaise. For that, we're going to need 2 egg yolks. We're going to zest some lime in there, and then we're going to roll that backwards and forwards. We're going to add all the juice from the lime as well. Adding to that around a teaspoon of English mustard. We're going to grab ourselves a decent quality olive oil and a whisk. I'm going to very slowly drip in our oil. Just a steady stream of that going through. That's what you're looking for. Nice thick glaze to it. And that is your super simple lime mayonnaise. Right, that can go to one side. Our onions over here, you can see when you just left it off the heat, they've just taken on and released some of that sugar and they've gone lovely and sticky and glazed. They're done too, so they can go to one side. We've got a third pan over here. We're gonna get that up to heat and we're gonna add a drizzle of olive oil. And then our lovely burgers are firmed up nicely. Just gonna do a couple of these for now. Okay, so we've got two really nice ciabattas here. We just want to get a little bit of colour just onto these rolls. So on the bottom of this, I'm going to take a generous portion of our onions. On with our burger. We've got a little bit of lettuce, so we've just got some mixed leaves here. And then we just want to spoon over our beautiful zesty lemon mayo. So there we go, look at that. How much colour and flavour is in there. That is my chickpea and sweet corn burger, finished off with the most easy lime mayonnaise and those beautiful caramelised onions. Look, if you do get recreating it, #ReeseHays Kitchen as always, and I'll see you next week. Cheers then, bye bye.